So the Ekurhuleni Council was plagued with several delays yet again yesterday at the resumption of the meeting that collapsed on the 29th of February. Well, the Democratic Alliance walked out following the Speaker's announcement that the Council would first sit for an extraordinary meeting. Well, for more on this, we are joined by Ekurhuleni City Manager, Dr. Imogen Mashazi. Dr. Mashazi, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, I want to start off with what we did see taking place yesterday in Council, and that being, of course, the tabling of the AG report. We have already seen the Speaker notes on what the thoughts are really of Council on the state of finances within the municipality. Talk to me about what you make of the AG report.
The AG report to me is not that bad as it was expected. From our side, we see it as a mild regression from clean audit to unqualified audit opinion. Because if you look at the issues that we raise, the finances are green, financial status of the city is green. Let me explain it in terms of AG language. Financial reporting is perfect. Our finances are perfect. The performance information is also green, which is perfect. The only issue that they raised, it was about contract management and some non-compliance with the rules and regulations.
Yeah, well, as you can imagine,
those were just and the amount that is raised there, that is disclosed, is only 22 million. So there's no fruitless and wasteful expenditure in terms of the AG's report. So we've seen that some interpretation that we've incurred over 600 million or whatever. There's nothing like that. If you look at note 48, it talks about the prior years. In my era as an accounting officer, I've never signed any paragraph 32, and they're referring to paragraph 32. If you follow the media, there was a paragraph 32 that was a contract by Lisira Tech, and it was awarded during the era of my predecessor. So what we're doing in the city, if there are irregular expenditures, we take them through investigation, SIU, and our own internal audit. So this current financial year, all those investigations were concluded. That's why there is that amount of 516. But if you look on the right side of the table, it will reflect 22 million for the current financial year, which is 2022-2023. So hence I'm saying it's a mild regression that we have irregular expenditure of amount of 22 million.
Yeah, okay, because we've got a statement We've got a statement from the African National Congress, and I imagine that you've taken a look at it as well, Dr. Mashazi, where in that statement they say, based on note 48 of the AG SA report that deals with unauthorized, irregular, fruitless and wasteful expenditure, the following material findings should be noted. And those are the numbers that you're touching on, but I want clarity here. A total of 516 million rand on irregular expenditure was reported. A total of 81 million rand worth of fruitless and wasteful expenditure was also found. These irregular and wasteful expenditures that led to non-attainment of the clean audit were largely caused by the contravention of supply chain management, inappropriate use of Regulation 32, and the lack of value for money. So explain to South Africans why those numbers, in your view, are not the worst thing that could happen to the municipality?
For me, those numbers are the worst thing. 516 million of irregular, fruitless and wasteful expenditure. For me, is the worst thing. As I've explained, Note 48, it's about prior years expenditures or irregular expenditures. They are talking about Note 48 reflects Section 32, which I've explained that it is about the Lisira Tech contract, which was awarded during 2014. I was not the accounting officer. It is during my predecessor. Hence, I'm saying these are prior years expenditures. My expenditure, if you look at the right side of the table, irregular expenditure is 22 million. Okay. And in my era as an accounting officer, I've never signed any Section 32. So for me, it's the worst thing. And we are cleaning up. Hence, we've taken all these irregular expenditures, for investigation, and hence we are now disclosing them because we are done with the investigation through internal audit and other spheres of government like your SIU and your public protectors and so forth. So it is important for us to reflect the true reflection of what has expired during the 2023, 2022 and 2023 financial years.
What do you make of Moodys?
And I've spoken to the Whip of Council about it, and he has indicated that they looked at the figure, and he understands that these are prior years' expenditures. These are not my expenditures as an accounting officer. Reflecting from 2017 up to now, to date.
Let's look at this now. Moodys, however, has downgraded Ekurhuleni Metro further into junk status. What do you make of that?
Well, Moodys' rating is unsolicited. In effect, that Moodys, in as much as to respect the rule as one of the rating agencies, but we are not contracted with them. We are contracted to Global Credit Rating, which they were waiting for our financial statements to be approved by Council yesterday and for us to submit to JSC, for them to actually rate us. Moodys, one, we don't understand where it comes from. And if you look into our status in terms of the JSC, we are still rated BAA, not CAA as they're reflecting. We are not at junk status as yet. If you look at the opening balance, or the closing balance during this financial year, 2022-2023, we are sitting over 400 million. Last financial year, we're sitting at 316 million, and we received a clean audit.
Is there an intention? Apologies, I need to step in, Dr. Mashazi, just in the interest of time. Please do accept my apology. Is it correct to say that the Ekurhuleni Metro may be looking to sue Moodys for that downgrade?
Yes, we are looking at the reputational damage of their statement because they released a statement on the 6th of March. And for us, it's a bad timing. Already the JSC, we have written to them that we're still waiting for Council to approve. Remember, we've concluded the process with AG on the 29th of February when we promised JSC that we're going to submit our financial statement. Unfortunately, Council collapsed, and Council only said yesterday. For them to release that statement on the 6th of March is unfortunate. So Council yesterday approved the AG report, and the AG report, in our view, is not a bad report. It's an unqualified audit opinion. Is one of the best opinions, and the finances are there.
Let me ask you this just to wrap up, because obviously since the 29th of February, a lot of the discussion has been whether or not we're going to see a vote of no confidence in the mayor. And then, of course, now discussions around a vote of no confidence even in the Speaker of Council. What would that mean for service delivery?
It means a lot because coalition governments, they create a lot of challenges, instability. Remember, as officials, we take mandate from politicians, from council. If council is dysfunctional, service delivery will be affected. Councillors are elected by communities. They're supposed to implement programs that communities have actually elected them to do. So if they're dysfunctional, there's nothing to be honest. There's no direction. There's no strategic direction because today you'll have this mayor. He'll have his own strategic view. Next month, this mayor. Coalition governments for South Africa are really bad and immature, and they're affecting service delivery.
All right, we're going to have to.
And as professionals, there's nothing we can do.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for speaking to us. The City Manager for Ekurhuleni Metro, Dr. Imogen Mashazi, speaking to us.